Good evening, fashion dolls. You guys know I had to go change the outfit and things. Welcome to a Style by Stevie exclusive. Now, I did one interview earlier with Tangi Miller, and this is my second interview. I'm so excited to be doing this interview this afternoon with singer, model, actor Chris Deloatch. Maybe today, NYC. Welcome to Style by Stevie. I'm your hostess and creator of Style by Stevie, Miss Stevie, of course, fashion influencer, journalist, and beauty connoisseur. I'm so honored to be doing this interview with Chris Deloatch. I'm kind of nervous. My nerves is through the roof, so forgive me if I kind of shake a little bit or fangirl out. But I'm so excited. Before we kick this interview off, I want to know how you guys are doing this afternoon. How is everyone doing? Make sure you guys go and check out the ensemble that I'm wearing tonight. It is definitely a head turner. So make sure you guys go and check that out on my feed. And also go and shop Miss Stevie's Closet in my bio. The link is in my bio. It is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to be doing this interview this afternoon. Oh my God. I'm fangirling out, like, literally. Let me send this to my BCC group. All right, ladies and gents. All right, we're waiting on Chris, my special guest, to get here. Now, we're going to be discussing the web series Bait. And Bait is like a new reality. Like, so many people that are in the LGBTQ community could wind up meeting somebody that the character that Chris portrayed. And we'll be discussing that and more of what he's been up to during quarantine and more. Like, he's very talented, very talented. So we're just waiting on Chris to get here. And we're going to get this interview started, ladies and gentlemen. But more importantly, make sure you guys share this live. Share it to your platforms. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm super excited about this afternoon, this evening. All of my interviews, out of all my interviews that I've done so far, I'm very honored to be doing this one this evening as well, too. So we're just waiting on him to get here, and we will start the interview. My earring keeps falling off. There we go. I think I got it. All right. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. All right. Sparkle! Oh my God, yes. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Sparkle. And my special guest is here, Chris Deloatch. Sparkle, be careful, Sparkle. That's my girl. Surviving R. Kelly. You know, she came out and she told her story, and I stand with my girl, so definitely go and check out her newest music. I'm so honored. My special guest is here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Deloatch.
Hey.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
I'm doing excellent. I'm telling my audience that my nerves is through the roof because we're going to be discussing Bait, your character on Bait. That was one of my favorite web series, and I hate that I didn't get to see what else would happen with your character and your dates.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. You know, your modeling career, your acting career. How did you get a career in modeling?
Wow. I think, well, you know, when I was young, a little bit younger, just being tall, and everybody was like, "Are you a basketball player?" And I'm like, "No." I wish. But so I think I went to, like, this was years ago when they had like little model searches or whatever. I went to one of those model searches and actually got signed to my first agency there. It was like 3 or 4 agencies that were interested, but I signed to one that was in DC, and I've just been doing it, you know, on and off ever since.
Okay, what about acting? How did you get into acting? Because you're just like the jack of all trades. You do acting, you sing, you model. How did you get into acting?
Well, I mean, I've always loved anything artistic, sing. I love when I was 12 or 13, I would always write poems. I would write songs. I did a little theater in school or whatever. So I was always interested in anything artsy. Um, but I know I was still doing my modeling thing. And then one of my friends actually was friends with Lee Hayes, who's the writer and creator of Bait, who's an amazing writer, amazing author. Um, he was like, well, he's doing a casting call. And I'm like, okay, what I got to lose? And it was funny because when I auditioned for that, I didn't want to be the bad guy. So I wanted to literally be the best friend who's like really nice and really sweet or whatever. And I didn't get that part. So yeah, it was, I got the lead, which stretched me, yeah, which to the limit. But I love it now because I got to live out all of my craziness through a manual.
We seen the part where you took a bath and all that blood. I seen that. Oh my God. I was just like, oh Jesus. He done killed somebody in the beginning of the show. When the show opened up, you were on the phone talking and you took the belt, and I was like, oh Lord, I seen all the blood. I said, ooh, I would not want to go on a date with him. Now it's like you tapped into this character, and that's why I was kind of scared to do the interview. I'm just like, oh Lord. And that's why when I've been promoting the little flyer with you in the picture, I chose that picture for a reason. There's a strategy behind it, because I said it just ties in perfectly. You've also sung the theme song for Bait. Now, how did Trouble come into play? How did you do that song?
Well, again, I've always been singing for forever. But when Lee, came and I got cast and we were doing everything, I was like, I want to write a song for it. So I wrote the song. And I wanted it, of course, to work for, at that time, it was a movie. Before it was even a web series, we did a short film. So I wanted something that worked for the film, and also worked because I'm an artist. I wanted something that worked outside of the film, that stood on its own. So I was just thinking about Trouble. Obviously the character is Trouble, but I wanted to speak to relationships as well, as a person who knows that they're kind of bad, but they love someone and they're trying to tell somebody, hey, look, I got a lot of flaws. I may be trouble. You know what I mean? So enter at your own risk type of thing,
And your character, Emmanuel, on this web series really pushed the envelope. Like, I've mentioned the scene where you took a bathtub in the blood.
Yeah.
A lot of makeup and effects going on. How did you do that? How did that come about? Like, was there anything that, because shout outs to Lee Hayes, like, just a talent and vision all in himself. Like,
yeah.
I wish the series would have been picked up by national networks, because this goes on in the LGBTQ community.
Right. And that's why I think Lee, that's why he created it. He wanted to show, because it's an app, Bait, for people that don't know, Bait is based on a web app, like, or a sex hookup app, I should say, and they're out there. But he wanted to shine a light on the dangers of that website or that app. You never know who's on the other end. You know what I mean? They may look attractive, and then they can be crazy. So he took it a step further with delving into the lives of the people behind the screen, which was really smart. Me, as well as other characters, especially the first and second season, delve into why he's a little crazy, and the people that he meet and how they affect him and his craziness. So it's been cool. It's been very interesting, to say the least.
It was one scene where you had Gary LeVar tied to the bed, and you had the scissors, and I was like, Lord, what is he gonna do this? And that's when the whole scene where you're in the bathtub with the blood, and I'm just like, oh Lord. And then Halloween is coming up. That's my birthday month, so I said Scorpio season is just the perfect time to do this type of interview. So I said, since this is relative in the LGBTQ community, this goes on in the LGBTQ community, why not interview Chris? Why not bring him on? He was the main character. You were the main character in that show. And Emmanuel was trying to get with Lennox. He wanted him some Lennox, honey.
Yeah, my best friend. Well, happy birthday to come, by the way. But Yeah, the scenes were very interesting. Lennox, J.R. Raleigh, who played Lennox, was amazing. He is an amazing actor. Like the cast was really really good. Lee did a great job with casting everybody. Um, yeah, I mean, everybody did their part. That's all I can say. It was a lot of drama and it was a lot of heart. We had to really go there for the characters. Even for me, like I did a lot of research. Like I just didn't wake up and start, filming. No, I did a lot of research on serial killers and a lot of stuff because I wanted it to be really believable and really good for the viewers. Um, I remember one time, like one of the extras in one of the scenes was like, "Well, you don't look like a serial killer," and I'm like, "Neither does a serial killer." So no one would go home with them if they look crazy. They really are your average Joe Schmo, like, next door neighbor, the nicest person in the world. That's the facade that they put out there, but inside they're kind of really messed up. So I wanted to show that yeah, I'm a good guy on the surface. Um, but yeah, so I hope it came across.
And you portrayed it very, very well. And also, shout outs to Chris June. Chris June is also in the audience. He
Hey, I
said,
see
"What up,
Chris.
Chris? You played the hell out of that role." Yes, Emmanuel. I'm pretty sure everybody didn't want to go on a date with Emmanuel. And then it goes into the second season and it opens where it's like you're going through like this cave and you got the guy tied up, butt naked. How did you? Who came up with that concept?
That's all Lee. Like shout out again, big thumbs up to Lee because he did all that. He introduced a couple more characters in season 2, and it's really just about the journey behind an app. Like when you sign on to one of those apps, there's a person and they have a life and they have friends outside of that app. And so if something affects them, something happens to these people, people are affected. And I love the way he actually intertwined all the actors into each other. The writing was good. There was gore. There was a little sexiness in all, in both seasons, which it gets the kids to watch. So I had to do my little crunches and everything, my push-ups. But it was what I liked is the integrity of the characters, the integrity of the story. We didn't sacrifice story for salacious butt shots or ass shots or you know what I mean. Like we had some of that there, but there was still a story, and you was like, okay, he's crazy, but you want to know why he's crazy. Why is he in love with his best friend? Um, people are still watching it. I just really looked at like the numbers on the like it's a YouTube show. Like we have like over 1 million views from all of the episodes. So it's still really popular. And we filmed it. We started like 5 years ago. So
And I
it's
still to this day watch it. I still to this day watch it. Like it's my guilty pleasure. Like that's something I love stuff like that. But I can't watch it alone though.
is it
I have to have the lights on. Keep that in mind.
is it that bad? Oh wow. Okay.
Yes, like I'm a scaredy cat. Like I'm a Scorpio. They say Scorpios are supposed to be passionate and we're supposed to
Hmm.
be, and not in some cases. My mom can watch stuff like that. Like she'll watch Investigation Discovery and
Hmm.
she'll watch the ID channel and things like that. But when it comes to me, I'm the paranoid person. See, I will look up under the bed. I will check the closet. I will check and make sure ain't nobody outside my window. Like I be scared. I can't literally watch that alone. Like I will literally have to have the lights on to watch it. But it is one of my guilty pleasures. Like that's
Wow.
an amazing web series, and I just wish that Lee Hayes would pick it up. And it just stopped in the first season
Oh,
where they discovered Marshall's phone under Emmanuel's sink. And
uh-huh.
then you came out with the gun, and they tried to leave the house, and you had them on the couch, and one of them got, and then that's where it cut off. And I'm just like, we want more. Why?
Oh, you talking about for the first season? Because we did
Mm-hmm.
this. Well, no, because the first season it was some stuff like I don't know. I haven't been back to YouTube, so I don't know what's still on there or not. But we kind of ended that. So yeah, I don't want to tell if you haven't seen it or whatever. But yeah, there's some stuff after that, after the gun. So you got to tune in. But he's I tell Lee all the time, you know, people I went to H&M the other day and people are like, "You're that dude from Bait." Like, so people still love the show and people still, you know, are invested in it. So I tell Lee all the time, like, bring it back. Hey, Steven. He said, "What up, fam?" Okay. But
Oh, he's talking to me. I know who that is. Hey, old
I know.
man.
I just saw the name. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" But yeah, so I told Lee all the time, bring it back. And he's, you know, hopefully it's gonna come back. We still have footage that we haven't shown, you know, the fans. So hopefully we'll be able to weave that into to other stuff. So just, you know, gotta stay tuned for all that.
I hope he brings it back around my birthday month because that would be the perfect time. That would be the perfect time. And this show is so pivotal. Like, this is what really goes on. Don't get me started. I'm fine like wine. I'm doing this interview right now, Steve. You trying to get me sidetracked. um, like, this show is so pivotal because this is what goes on
Mm,
in the dating world. And
yeah,
we hear stories about people getting killed or people getting attacked from people that they met off of dating apps. So shout outs to Lee Hayes again on creating this and showcasing this, especially for black queer people.
right,
Like, we
exactly.
never see it. And some cases do not get reported.
Exactly. And I think what he wanted to do from the show, if nothing more than, okay, so say you're on one of those dating apps, just let somebody know where you're going. You know, which is funny because I still have friends. I'm not gonna name no names. You know, when they have their little hookup or whatever, they still text me and be like, "Hey, I'm going such and I'm going to blah 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 blah." If something happened to me, you know what I mean? So it's a real thing. It's real out there in these streets. Um, and hopefully Bait shine help shine a light on that, and people saw themselves outside of just the news when, you know, when something happens and someone gets killed, you know, this has, like I said, it has backstories, so you can see the people that's involved in whatever's going on at that moment. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now we're going to talk about something a little bit more fun, the music, because you have
Okay.
such a gift.
Mm.
You're just incredibly talented. And I seen your cover you did for
Oh,
Janet Jackson. I love Janet Jackson. I love Sade. I love Phyllis Hyman. So I'm a very eclectic person when it comes to music. Like, I have a very different taste range. But
okay.
your cover you did on Janet Jackson, beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm always doing so many covers. I'm like, which song is that? Like, I mean, I always do again. I love music and I love Janet. That's why I was so happy when I actually was in her video when I did Made for Now. That was amazing. That was like a lifelong dream to like work with Janet Jackson. So I was blessed to actually work with her. Um, but yeah, I love anything with a beautiful melody. I love like doing covers. Um, I have my own music out there, but every now and then you know you like to keep it fresh and do covers of songs. So
You've had a number of hit singles out there. You did the song with DJ Richie, shout outs to him. We Be
yeah,
Jammin', and then you
jamming.
did the song Trouble, and then you did a song called Busted, and then there was
Yes,
another one where it's like remixes to it. I think it's called Live. That's
live.
one of my favorites too.
Alive, alive. That's what it's called. I
Alive.
was like, wait, live? No, it's called Alive. Yeah, and I have a like 4 or 5 different remixes to that, and that just came about just when like doing what you want to do. Like you only get one chance in this world, so just live alive. So that's why it was called Alive. It's, you know, and that's what like you doing your thing, you know, doing this show, you're living your moment. And I think that's when I wrote that song, I wanted everyone to just live in their moment. This is not dress rehearsal. You know, this is your shot. So be happy, take that chance, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So, talk to that boy, talk to that girl, start that business. You know what I mean? Just do live.
Like, I love that song. It has such a purpose to it. It has such a meaning.
Yeah.
And Do you write all your songs? Would you write songs for other people?
I have. Like, I write all my songs, which I actually want to do, because as an artist, you try to stretch yourself. It's easy to sing stuff that you wrote yourself. So I really want to kind of like get a song from another artist and see if I can make it my own. Because it's just always easy to just write for yourself and cheaper. But I've written for other artists as well, which is interesting because you never know what they want. They tell me what they want and I try to tailor it, but sometimes it's hit, sometimes it's missed, who knows? But I love writing and I love being creative. The creative process is like amazing for me. So yeah.
And to add on what you're saying, it's very therapeutic as well too. Like we have so much going on in this world, and I was talking about Tamar Braxton, how she has her show and how she could put everything that she's experienced into her music. Like
Yeah.
people have songs that tell stories. Whatever you're feeling, you could put into the music, and it's like Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige, whenever she puts out a record or an album or a song, you can feel her pain. You can feel
Yeah.
whatever she's experienced. You can feel whatever she's going through. And it hits home to some people. Like when she came out with the My Life album,
Hmm.
everybody says they'll come up to her. She said this in an interview. She said people will come up to her literally and they'll say, "You've saved my life." Have people
Wow.
ever walked up to you and said, your music has done something to me?
Yeah, consider myself on a small stage. I do my music and I put it out there. I'm not like on billboards and all that other crap. You know what I mean? I do my music because of the love of the music and I want to continue to do it. So I never know who's listening or who buys my music. So when people come up to me and tell me they love my music when I'm coming out with the next song and they are like singing my music and know the lyrics, like it means a lot. It really means a lot. Because the story, like you said, it tells stories. I have a hard time writing stuff that is not meaningful. I've done it before, the little vapid, bopping music, which is leaves you empty. Yeah, it has a great beat, but it's not about anything. I've done that. But the stuff that is close to my heart is the stuff that came from my life or my friends' lives. I know I had two friends that went through something, and I wrote this song called Angel Wings, which I think I'll be coming out with that pretty soon. Um, but just letting people know that there are people that care about them and that people are there to uplift them. So it's always based on my life or somebody that I know life. Yeah.
And again, it goes back to what I was saying about your words and your music have an impact on people. Like what you're saying, people will walk up to you literally and they will say, "Oh, well, I can go through this," or "I've been through this," or "He's saying something that I can relate to." And
Mm.
9 times out of 10, everybody has a reflection. Everybody has a moment. So it's up
Yeah.
to you to find into yourself, okay, I've been through this situation. I've experienced this. And he's already hitting the nail on the head,
Mm.
basically.
I mean, that's God. That ain't me. Like, well, uh, he he brings the people to hear the music. He lets me write the music. So it's all a divine circle when it comes to songs and things that touch people's heart, because you never know like what's gonna reach somebody, but God knows, and God knows to have them listen to it. You know what I mean? Um, so it's a spiritual thing. It's a love of the art. And one person used to tell me, because I haven't put out half the songs that I have. Like I have so many songs, and I'm a perfectionist. So I'm just like, no, this is not right. No, this is horrible. Like, but my friends tell me that it's not about you. It's about the other person. Like your gifts that God gives you is not for you. It's to bless somebody else. So I really that sticks with me when I put out stuff and when people really, like you said, talk to me about, how it's touched them. Like it solidifies that, yeah, it's not about me. Everything doesn't have to be a perfect note, have to sing it right. It's about the message to the music. So
And speaking of singers, it's funny you mentioned that. My brother Michael is in the comments. Mike is also a singer, so you better definitely link up with Chris. Mike, talented. I could see something. So I'm all about networking people and pairing people
Yeah.
together. They're like, "How did you meet?" Well, Miss Stevie put them together. That's what I do. I put people together. So if I feel as though they're gonna click, they can network together on the same page of music.
Oh,
Then
that's
more
what's up.
importantly, yeah, definitely collab. So I'm all about networking, but you do so many things. You model, you act, you sing. Is there anything he can't do? Like, you're multifaceted. Now, what can we expect from you in the future? Or if there's anybody that is a singer, like you've mentioned Janet, is there
Mhm.
anybody that you would love to collaborate with?
Oh
That
well,
if they ask you to come and open up for them on tour or something, who would that be?
that would be Brandy. That's my baby. Like all day, every day. That's the vocal Bible. I think I've been in love with her since I was like 14. So that's that's my baby all day and every day. And I saw her in that verses. I mean, that her new album, it hits a little differently. She's on a whole nother vibe from all her older music. But I mean, I love each every album. It tells a story and it tells where she is in her life. And I appreciate that. And I love her music. So yeah, that's my baby. So yeah, I want to collab with her. So if she's listening, I'm here.
And I'll tag her in this live, so I got you. I will tag her because I posted some of her hairstyles and she liked it, and I went crazy. I fangirled out, so I will tag her.
That's what's
Um,
up.
Another question is, we mentioned, opening up and performing. Now, if you had a show, who would you allow to open your show?
Oh Lord. Oh, hmm.
I stumped you.
Because it's like everybody that I love big, like they not gonna be opening no show. They no, I will be opening for them. So like I'm a humble dude. Like everybody I think I'm like I wouldn't even who the hell would open my show? That's a great question. You did stump me.
Chris June.
Chris, hey, oh my God, he's an amazing singer too. I love Chris. Hey, Chris. Like I wouldn't even say, and that's the thing. I wouldn't be like, yeah, Chris. I want Chris to open because I do. I mean, we could. It'll be a collabo. It wouldn't be like you're opening for me type of thing. Because I feel like we're all artists. I mean, so hey, it is what it is. That's a joint collabo thing. Um,
Yes, Chris is very talented, and Mike says he would love to sing with her. Now, I could see that.
oh,
I
she's
definitely could
amazing.
see that.
All right, Mike, you got good taste. I like
And
it.
he says he loves Brandy too, so y'all both on the same page of music. So I smell a trio coming. I smell a trio coming. And I so could see this. Like, I like to manifest things in the
Okay,
future.
that's
So
what's up. I love it.
that's why I asked that question. And I know it stumped you. So
It did. It did. But I like questions. I like questions that stump me, makes me think. Because if you're not thinking, you're not learning, you're not growing. So I like stuff like that.
now let's get into the modeling aspect. If you got into clothing design, who would you like to walk in your show?
Oh, like what models do I like? Well, Alton
Mm-hmm.
Mason right now, like the number one male model, period. He happens to be black, but he's still killing it, whether he's black or white or Asian or whatever. Alton Mason, he would open the show, he would close the show. Um, Gosh, yeah, he would open my show. I'm trying to think of who else would I have in it, because like, yeah, he's right now he's the top in my book. One of my boys, Time, he's an amazing model right now. So Time, he will also be in my show. He's actually my best friend, and he's killing it in the modeling game as well right now. And he just started, which is crazy.
So how long have you been doing it? Because you've been doing it for a minute. You've been modeling
Just
for a minute.
on and off because I do the acting and the singing. It's like sometimes it's like I'll do the modeling, then I'll stop to film. And so I feel like I step away, but I really don't step away. I still do it, but so it's been on and off for like a couple of years, a while, I think. But it never stopped. I just signed with another agency. I can put that out there. Woo, 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 woo. So I have I have my agency here in DC, but I also signed with one on the West Coast. and I have another one I'm in the talks of signing in Europe. So it's going really well. I'm blessed, and I can't, say anything but I'm blessed, and it's nothing but God. So I'm just gonna do what I love to do, and whatever happens, happens.
I see bigger things for you in the horizon. Like, and I spoke and I did an interview with Dawn Robinson of In Vogue,
Mm.
and she was saying that, and one of the audience members was saying to her, because she was speaking about her time in the girl group and how things didn't go well behind the scenes, where she was very vocal and she was the focal point, speaking out on the group's financial issues. Oh my God, it's Lee Hayes.
Lee, hey, Lee.
Now we got to talk about bait. We're going to get back to bait, Lee. We can't thank you enough. We got to get that show back. We have to bring bait back. Like, hashtag bring bait back, please. Because
Hashtag.
we love the show. We're so obsessed. But we're talking about what's in the horizon for Chris. And the interview that I did with Dawn Robinson, she was saying you never know what God has in store for you. What God has in store for you, nobody can take that from you.
That's right.
So more importantly, continuing to fight and use your voice for whatever is right. And she spoke out about her time in Vogue when things didn't go so well behind the scenes. And the
Hmm.
audience took from it. And a lot of people can learn from this. So, what advice would you give to people that are looking to get into the modeling world or to become a singer or become an actor?
The best advice I could give, and my dad taught me this, is don't sell yourself short. Don't tell yourself no. And I mean, it sounds really cliche, but I've gotten a lot of stuff in my life. Literally, I've booked a lot of stuff. I've gotten jobs out the wazoo by not telling myself short. You're quick to say, "Oh, they don't want me," or "I'm not right for this role," or "I'm too short," "I'm too tall," "I'm too this," "I'm too that." You're already just putting that negative stuff out there. If they're gonna say no, if it's meant for you to have, then you'll have it. If it's not meant, then you won't. But if you never go for it, then you're not gonna get it. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. And one of my mantras is you have 100% chance of missing a shot that you never take. So if you never go for it, and that's my thing with acting. With modeling, I'll go for castings. I don't get it because yeah, you're gonna hear no more than you hear yes. But you just got to keep going because what's meant for you is for you. So, and that moment when you're about to give up, that's when God says, "Hey, I got this. I got this for you," and it's gonna turn around.
And
So,
there's so many young people that have that mindset of just, oh, I just want to give up. I'm just, I don't feel as though I'm good enough, or I don't feel as though I'm going to get it. I've been told no 1,000 times. And I tell this to people all the time, like, you can't give up. You have to be persistent. Keep knocking at that door. If not, if people don't want to give you a seat at the table, and I literally said this yesterday, so ironic that we're talking about it now. I said, if people don't want to give you a seat at the table, it's up to you to build your own seat,
right.
literally.
Or make your own damn table. Not even the seat, just you make your own table. And I love that I have so many friends out there in the entertainment industry that have made their own table. They made their own seat, they made their chair, they made their napkins, they made their plate because the entertainment industry is it's big. Like, to be honest, and like actors, singers, you throw a penny, throw a rock, and there's an actor, there's a singer, there's a model. Everybody look good. And now we got Instagram, social media, everybody's everything. So there's a lot of competition. But what I said again, what's for you is for you. So you make your own lane. If you don't see yourself fitting in, XYZ, you make A, B, and C lane. You know what I mean? And do
Yes.
what you need to do. So hey, you think Insecure would be here if Issa Rae didn't make her own lane? She did her own show on YouTube. So she was like, "The hell, they ain't paying me no mind. I'm gonna create my own crap." I mean, not crap. I was gonna write cuss, but but she made her own stuff, and now she's Issa Rae that everybody knows and loves.
And her show is on HBO.
Mm.
Now, Lee, you
Right.
here in the audience, you hear me about to talk about your show Bait. The show is so iconic. Lee, please bring it back. Please bring it back. The show was so good. The character that Chris played was so believable. I was terrified, believe it or not, TBH, I was terrified to do this interview because I said he's probably going to be like his character on TV. But the complete opposite. The complete opposite.
Yeah.
So, Lee, thank you for creating the show because this is what happens in the LGBTQ community. And you've got other platforms that don't really want to showcase what goes on in the LGBTQ community, especially the black LGBTQ community. So thank you for
Hmm.
creating a show that represents us, that represents what we go through on a day-to-day basis in the LGBTQ community
Hey,
daily.
he just said Chris is crazy. Chris ain't crazy.
Like,
But
Lee, where did you get the concept for all of these things? Like, you had Chris in the bathtub with blood. You had him tie Gary LeVar to the bed. You had, what's his name? Was tied up. Oh, you have, Lee, you have such a vision. Like, the
he's
show is
talented.
so pivotal.
Yeah, Lee is
So talented.
amazing, and I tell him that all the time, and I tell everybody, Lee is amazing. He's a genius at writing dark stories that still have meaning and that are poignant and that are relative to the times. Um, and so he's just brilliant to work with. He's a hard ass, don't get me wrong, because on set he demanded like 150% of you. So I mean, I love Lee. There's so many stories that we could tell about, behind the scenes or whatever, but just the magic that he brought to the screen, because we premiered it in the movie theaters or whatever. So like to see his work on the big screen and his lines, and it was amazing. It was a blessing, and I was blessed to be a part of it. So, but
Oh, Lee said something. He said, unfortunately, it happens way too often. It needs to be shown and talked about it. Yes, yes, and you did that. And it was Chris that brought this character to life, Emmanuel to life. And we would like to know, where do you think your character would be? Lee is here, so I'm asking the question too. Where do you think your character would be next season?
um well, thank you for saying, good things about the character, because I told you I did not want to be that person at first. Again, when I read, I was like, well, I want to be a lead character, but I don't want to be a mean person. So I want to be good. I want people to like me. Now people love to hate me, um, which is cool. But I feel like the character, he is unredeemable. Like he wants to be loved. So I want him to find love, but and then I want to see how is that going to work in his mind, in his world. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't feel emotion like regular people because he's a psychopath. He if you do him wrong or he feels that you've done him wrong, he has no qualms about taking you out of this world. So it's going to be interesting to see a development if someone really loved him and he really loved them, like what that dynamic will look like. And then just is the cops going to catch up with him? Like, he's been killing these people. Like, how is he still out there in the world? Like, it's all these unanswered questions, Lee. Putting it out there.
And also, he don't call him crazy. That's another thing he said when he had Gary LeVar type the bed. Don't call him crazy. So I was just while I was watching it and he had him tied to the bed. I said, please don't call him crazy. Just you can't get free or nothing. He got you tied up. You had the plastic on the bed. Like, Lee, your visionary is just insane. And I would consider you the Black Stephen King. The
Me
Black
too.
Stephen King for the LGBTQ community. Like, you bought this show to life, literally. And the fans are still talking about it. Like, earlier in the interview, Chris said the people are still walking up to him talking about his character. And I
Right.
said, why not do an interview on the show? Why not revive it and bring it back to life? And it's so shocking to have the creator here in the audience. So Lee, bring
Right.
the show back, please.
Yes,
Please bring it back.
and what I said earlier, Lee, since you're here, like, I was looking at some of the shows today, like, and we have over 1 million views, like over 1 million views from all like the episodes. So it's really, and we haven't filmed in a while, so it's crazy that the fan base is still there. So,
Yes.
and I mean, just bring it back. Have some, we have some characters that we need to know about and what's going on with their lives, and the fans love it. I love it. So it's great.
And Marshall, what Marshall? They found the phone and everything, but Marshall, where is Marshall? Well, he dead. All we seen is them could rediscover the phone, and he had him in the house. He got the gun. So then it just transitioned into the second season where it opened and he had him tied up literally. So, oh wow, I didn't know that. 1 million. Wow. Yes,
Mhm.
like people are still watching Bait, and that's why I say, you know what? This is where I know Chris from. He's played a lot of roles, but this role in particularly is the one that he's well known for. And I said the perfect time. We're wrapping up September, going into Halloween, which is my birthday month. And I said this will be a perfect interview. So, of course. Oh my God, Don Robinson just commented on my look. Oh, Jesus. Never mind. This is about Chris right now. Marshall, yes, Marshall was dead. All we seen was them go and get the phone. And then after the party, I noticed the shade between Marshall and Emmanuel. Like Marshall was not here for Emmanuel. He was just like, well, he's sleeping with his man. Well, and I was
Whatever.
like, oh baby. And he just said, well, you need to keep your mouth shut. And then when we got on that phone, he got that baseball bat. I said, oh Jesus, it's a wrap.
Well, he
The
got on my
screen went
nerves.
black. So Lee, thank you. You brought this character to life. And you just got to revive the show. You got to bring it back because the fans are still talking about it.
They are. They really are. And he brought now he didn't bring just this character like I was saying before. He just brought that whole world, the whole bait world to life. And it's amazing. Like I was even looking at some of the pictures and like the screen of the app. Like when I saw that, it was so dope. Like the people he had working, with the Maurice Graham was worked with worked on the show with him. It was just amazing crew. Everybody, the actors, it was really dope. It was really dope. And that's one of the, like you said, just me from this. I've done a lot of stuff, and this is what people know me from. You're that killer. Like they don't sometimes they don't even remember the name or my name, or they're like, you're that dude that was killing people, which is still funny to me.
And just as soft as a teddy bear, you're the complete opposite of that character. You're the complete opposite. I didn't know
Yeah,
you didn't want to portray that role, so Lee, good job.
yeah, but that's why it's called acting. It's yeah, because I'm a nice guy. So, but it's fun because I get to live out all of my craziness through Emmanuel, through other characters. Like, I mean, and I'm working on another web series right now. So it's amazing to just live vicariously through these people. But they started it because I play a lot of bad guys, and I think I attribute that to Lee because I was not a bad guy until Bait. Now after Bait, every damn thing I do, I'm a bad guy. Go figure.
What else do people give you other than, oh, he's that serial killer? You the one that was killing people. What else do people walk up to you with?
Um, that and modeling. They know I model. Um, that's pretty much it. Oh, you that model, and you that actor. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, the fact that they do recognize me at all is still a blessing because I just do what I do, and I love to be an artist. So the fact that whole and I told my friends before, I never want to be one of those people like a crazy star, like Beyonce status. Like I want to be able to walk the street and eat. Like famous crazy stars, they can't do all that. I just want to do my art because I love it. If people recognize me and they love it too, that's like a topping. You know what I mean? So topping on the cake. So it is what it is.
And speaking of modeling, we seen that picture you took with that snake. I'm terrified of snakes. I'm
Me too.
terrified. How? How, Sway? How did you do it?
I did it because I always wanted to. I remember an episode of Top Model where they worked with a snake and they were like scared out their wazoo. But it was a dope shot. And I say anything for your art. I don't think they'll bring like when they brought the snake on set, it was I knew it wasn't gonna kill me. But so yeah, I was like scared, but I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna die. Just get over it because you're gonna get a dope shot after it. And that's how I look at anything. If you're uncomfortable with even with like filming a show or taking or modeling shots, you got to think about the end result. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not a killer, like, but I go there and it's definitely uncomfortable. Having to cry, having to be sweaty, having to be ugly on camera, it's gonna create a story and something that's timeless, and that's what matters the most to me, like creating timeless art. So
And Lee captured it because it's still out here and people are still to this day, 2020. Like, you guys filmed this way back when. I just wanted to stop through, but I have to go. Love you both. Keep rising. Let's all win.
all
Yes.
right, Lee.
You too, Lee. Thank you so much. And bring bait back. Hashtag bring bait back.
You gonna
Blow
start
Lee's
that?
page up. Bring bait back. We gotta have that show. Like, it's so pivotal for what's we're going through in the LGBTQ community, and we're seeing so much with our trans sisters being killed,
Hmm.
black trans men being killed, Tony McDade. Like, it's so much, and it's relevant to what's going on today.
Right,
So all
exactly.
these hate crimes, but you would have never thought that it would have been going on in your own community, especially on an app, meeting someone off of a dating app. And we hear story about this where people are meeting people off a grinder, and dates going wrong or going
Hmm.
left.
Right, exactly. So he did it. He did that thing. It's
So Lee,
awesome.
shout outs to you. Just continue on and bring it back. Yes, I started the hashtag bring bait back. Bring it back because we want to see what's going on with this character. We want to see how far he's willing to go. And we know that Lee's got some stuff written up and cooking. I
Mm.
just don't know what it is yet. The audience don't know what it is yet. And we're just guessing like what's next to come for this character. And like Chris said, why hadn't the police caught him? Like they said, you can't call the police in the beginning, season one. The other character that was dating Lennox, he said, you can't call the police. The police aren't going to do anything. How accurate is that? That's so true. When it comes to hate crimes that are against us, they
Hmm.
don't really do anything.
That's right. I mean, it's unfortunate. And we just have to keep shining light on what's happening. You know what I mean? People have to raise their voice because we just have to have that visibility in everything. And again, that's why I love the show because it raised visibility. We had amazing one of my good friends, Riley Knox. She was on season 2. She's trans. So I love that he put everybody in this this realm in this world because guess what, we're all in this world. So the fact that he's shining a light on everybody, I mean, it's amazing. But it's unfortunate that these things happen and then the police could care less. There was different things that I'm remembering back in my mind when we talked about the police and things like that, and they don't care, or certain family members in your family when something happens to you because you may be trans or because you may be gay or anything like that, they don't care. It doesn't get the level of love that our cisgender people would get when something
Yes.
happens to them. So again, that's his writing. That's Lee's writing, and he's shining a light on things. It's funny that he did that, started that 5 years ago, but we're still dealing with it right now.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know, Riley Knox does a killer Beyonce impersonation. If you have not seen her shows, you need to go check out her shows. You will
Yeah,
not be disappointed. So shout outs to her. And I
that
love the fact that Lee was inclusive. He included trans women as well too, because we're seeing this go on. Our sisters are being killed. And it's just like, who can we turn to if we can't turn to the people who are supposed to be protecting and serving in this
Yeah.
community, especially with the Breonna Taylor? That
Mm-hmm.
yesterday was just, it's just a whole mess.
Yeah, I have no words for that travesty. That was just no justice. The millions won't bring her life back. So yeah, that was really, really hard to see because it was like, okay, what did this is that what her life is? Like the people that ended her life, they're gonna go on like nothing happened. Just sad.
And again, it goes to show that black women are so unprotected, especially black trans women. So we have to continue to fight for our sisters. And we seen what
Hmm.
happened in the video with Iana Dior getting attacked by 30 people. This is
Nah.
ridiculous. And it's so funny that this is still going on right now today. We would have
Now,
thought that it would have just kind of, but now people are showing you who they truly are. And people in this world are
exactly.
just evil, hateful, and will do anything to try to manipulate you or try to harm you or do bodily harm to you or not you, one of your family members, if they are in the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
And to the parents out here that want to disown their children, love on them. Love your children. Don't go out here and start disowning them because they choose this lifestyle. And before anyone says, well, oh, it's just a phase, it's not just a phase, it's a person's lifestyle. This is their choice.
Right. I agree. Oh, Lord, don't have me start, with the world, the craziness in this world today, because it's a lot.
I'm not going to dig deep into it. I'm not even going to open
Right.
that can of worms. So I just had to bring that up because we're noticing that our sisters are being killed. We noticed that. And it's like, okay, are we going to have to go to? I had this conversation with one of my guest co-hosts last week, and I said, are we going to have to start buying weapons to defend ourselves? And we see that in the LGBTQ community where we're fighting
Yeah.
back. We have to fight back.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people, again, I'm not gonna name names because I don't want to put them on blast, but they do carry weapons because they don't feel safe. Trans women, gay guys, lesbians, like they just don't feel safe. So yeah, they definitely want to protect themselves. So, and that's the time we live in. It's sad though that it's like you have to protect yourself from what people. You got to protect yourself from cops who's supposed to be protecting you. So
Yes.
it's just a weird time that we're living in right now. A horrible, horrible time. But we just have to keep putting everybody on blast and holding everybody accountable for everything and just praying and keep showing up when it's time to show up. You know what I
Yes, my earring keeps falling off. Excuse me, y'all. Oh my God.
mean?
That's so embarrassing. Hi, Terrence. Do you guys have any questions for Chris? You guys are more than welcome to answer. We're just going on. We're just having good conversation tonight. I not only do, I wouldn't really consider this a interview. I would consider this more so having a conversation with a friend. So when I
Yeah,
try to
this
do
is
it, I
cool.
try to welcome people into my home. I try to make people feel as comfortable as possible when I interview them. But we had to have this conversation, especially with the show Bait. This is what goes on. This is what we face in the community on a day-to-day basis with us just trying to, like the character Emmanuel was just wanting to be loved. We want to be loved in the LGBTQ community.
And
And
then
it's
that
hard. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say because we didn't even talk about just people and mental illness. That because you know for a fact Emmanuel Woods has some mental illness going on, psychotic and things that probably I want to say could have been helped had he got some help earlier. You know what I mean? So it speaks to a lot of things in the community. But about being black and not getting mental help, you can't go to a therapist. Black people don't go to therapy. Black men don't say when they're hurting or you know what I mean? So it's a lot that you can delve in to with bait and backstories and things like that. Yeah, it's great to watch because it's TV, and you feel like it's not real, but mental illness is real. The murdering of innocent people is real. So it's just one of those shows that it's entertaining, but it's also eye opening.
Yes,
So
and another thing about black people and mental health is that I said this yesterday in my interview I did with Sky Black. we talked about mental illness and how black people are so quick to say, "Oh well, I'm just gonna pray about it, and it'll just go away." The thing is, there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody, so we have to get out of that stigma of saying, "Oh, I'm crazy because I'm going to see a therapist." It's okay to say I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And I said that yesterday. It's okay to say I'm not okay. And I wish people would just stop trying to mask the pain. Like, yes, you put on makeup. As you can see, I'm made up. But it can't cover up the pain. Can it cover up the pain that you're feeling? Can it cover up the scars? Can it cover up, what you're feeling on the inside? The anger, the regret, the bitterness, all of these things, all of these different emotions. We as black people, we were told, 500 years of oppression, and it's a lot more that goes into us and our mental health. So there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, I need to go to the red couch and sit down with Dr. Phil. I need to go talk to a therapist. I need to
Right.
go see somebody. It's overwhelming for me. And
Hmm.
my friends will literally come to me and they will vent to me. And I'm pretty sure you get a DM full too from some of your fans and followers. And people watch Style by Stevie. They will message me like, Miss Stevie, what should I do? I'm stressed out. I'm having anxiety. I'm here if you need to talk. And I'm pretty sure Chris is too. Talk to someone.
I mean,
Talk
it,
to
it
someone.
feels, yeah, it feels better to talk to people. I mean, hell, I've been going through anxiety. It's 2020. We got COVID-19. We got all our famous stars just dying left and right. So everyone is going through some anxiety right now, and it's okay to talk to your friends. And my friends know I literally just started going out again. My birthday. I just had my birthday last week.
Yes, we seen
So
that you was cutting up.
Eh. but I didn't go on a lot of things I was invited to because of the anxiety, because of COVID and things like that. So we need to know that it's okay, like you just said, it's okay to not be okay with certain things. Um, and talk to your friends that they're here for, and then talk to others. If you don't want to talk, you don't feel comfortable talking to your friends, because a lot of friends like to throw shade. They like to be,
Yes.
all that stuff, and you know who you can talk to. I mean, pretty much it. If your friends ain't it, then you got to go to a professional. There's so many free services out there. And it's funny that we're talking about this. I'm thinking about my character Emmanuel. I'm like, if he would have went to some therapy, will we even have Bait the show? Because he wouldn't have been killing nobody. Um, but I would rather people just get help when they need it from professionals or from their friends than to just sit in silence and hurt in silence. So,
And I'm gonna go a little bit further to back up what you said. Drinking the pain away, smoking the pain away. Yes, it can help. It can help. It can help you cope a little, but it's not gonna fill that empty void that you're feeling on the
right.
inside.
It's temporary. It's a temporary fix. We all get it. Hell, I mean, it's a little liquor in here right now. I'm being honest, but it's temporary fix to hopefully not a permanent problem. But if you get help, then it won't be permanent. But if you just keep putting a band-aid and that band-aid keep falling off, then
Yes.
what's going to happen is you're just going to be dealing with this over and over and again for the rest of your life. But we just need to let everybody know that it's okay to get help for whatever you're going through. Anxiety, just feeling alone, like any and everything. Oh, you got ghosted by somebody you were dating? Talk to somebody about it. Because if you get ghosted enough, you're gonna start thinking something wrong with you. And no,
Exactly.
ain't nothing wrong with you. It's them assholes. You know what I mean? So just I'm a big believer in just living life, but also living your best life. And if that means getting some help in any aspect of your life, you got to get it. Don't suffer in silence about anything. Shit. The hell with that.
Yes, and there are days when people don't feel like getting up or don't feel their best. I know for me it was a doozy, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna fight through this because I have two interviews. I was just like, Lord Jesus, I can't do it, but I don't know what dawned over me. I guess I must have got my little my energy boost on my own naturally,
Hmm.
and I got up out of the bed and I did what I had to do today, and I got it all accomplished. So the thing is, don't just sit up here and be complacent. Don't just sit up here and be suffer. Don't sit up here and just suffer in silence. Like, let people know what's going on. If you're not feeling your best today, let people know. And if it becomes overwhelming for you, then go ahead and talk to somebody. Pick up the phone. And in these times, we need to be picking up the phone to call our family relatives.
Yeah. And my thing too is you don't have to, in this world of social media, I mean, and me being an artist and you being a, artist, you let people